Hello, I'm Andrew Fryer, and in this demonstration I want to show you how to work with dynamic memory in System Center Virtual Machine Manager 2008 R2. Dynamic memory was introduced as a feature in Windows Server 2008 R2 in Hyper-V with a special service pack released about a month ago. That's now been followed by a corresponding service pack for System Center Virtual Machine Manager. So first thing we need to do to get started with dynamic memory is to install that. I pull down the ISO and I'm now ready to get started. I get the familiar installation wizard. The first thing I need to do is update my server. So let's get started with that. Accept the license agreement, hit next, and it can see that I've already got System Center Virtual Machine Manager on here, so I just click the upgrade button to get started. I'll use the existing credentials, and it's picked up the fact that I've got the self-service manager already open, so I better close that. And it's now seeing the services there. Now I think I can get away with this, so I'm going to ignore those warnings. Now it's going to do the console, and I'll probably get the same warnings again. Just ignore that. And that's both of those updated. Now, if you've got the agent being manually administered, you might need to go and deploy that agent on your physical hosts. But other than that, we're done. So I can fire up the System Center Virtual Machine Manager console now. You can see I've now got Service Pack 1 installed, so that's good. And when I go and look at the virtual machines now, I can look at this DC that I've got running, the main controller. And now you can see that it's picked up the dynamic memory settings of the virtual machine. So I've got 512 megs on startup, and I've actually assigned 512 to it. So when I go and look at its properties, and look at memory here, the machine's running at the moment, but you can see I've now got the dynamic memory settings for that machine, which is great. The next change that we see with dynamic memory in System Center Virtual Machine Manager is in the library. I've got two server templates set up here from which I or users via the self-service portal can deploy virtual machines. And if I look at the basic server now and its properties, in the hardware configuration, I can now flip this over to be dynamic memory, and I might decide I could just get away with 1500, set the maximum to 6 gigs and leave the memory buffer at 20%. The implications of this in the self-service portal we can have a look at now by pretending to be a user. Now I've got Remote Desktop Manager here, so I can flip over to my BI client, go to my virtual machines, and because I've been allowed to set up virtual machines, I can create one now. So I like all of that. I'm going to create one virtual machine. I'll start the index at 2, and my computers are UKTN, so that's what I shall use. And I'll hit create. Jump back over to my System Center Virtual Machine Manager and look at jobs. Now we can see the business user's job to create a new virtual machine is arriving. I'll speed this bit up because it takes a little while. So that virtual machine has completed okay, and if I now go to virtual machines, we can see UKTN2 running here, and again we've got the memory properties set up. So because this virtual machine is created on a machine with Windows Server 2008 R2 sp1 on it, it will get the right integration components, and I don't have to worry about that. So that's a quick run through of dynamic memory in System Center Virtual Machine Manager. For more information, you'll probably want to follow the links at the end of this video. And I've been Andrew Fryer, and thank you very much for listening.